Check out thechosenprime.com in the link in the description below for this and other great items. Welcome everyone to another radio-free Cybertron review. I'm your host Diecast. Today we have Badcube Wardog, and he is Badcube Robot's Old Timer Series 04 Justice Force. Ages 15 plus. Not too much on the top, just the Badcube logo. On the back you get some nice artwork. Of Wardog. On the side you just get the OTS-04, and on this side you just get a picture of his face, or a drawing of his face. Now, I opened this upside down, but go ahead and take this out. Put the box off to the side. And here you have Wardog in his vehicle mode, or tank mode. You can see I was very impressed with how big he was. With the size of the packaging, I expected him to be smaller than this. You can see he's pretty much takes up the whole package. So really good surprise that he was that big and that chunky. So go ahead and show you what he comes with. And I don't know if this was a mistake or if they all do this. I got both cards for Backland and Brawny, and I'm not sure if I was supposed to. Definitely leave a comment down below if you picked up Wardog. Let me know if you got those too. Not sure. And then you got two other styles of cards here for Wardog. One with tech specs and one with write-up. They're a little bit thinner than I'm used to getting. But again, I mean, the cards are nice, but really personally don't care too much. And then in here, open this up real quick. What you have is a poster of Wardog. Really nice. Again, I'm not gonna hang up a poster, but it's nice. I guess they included it. I just hope the price doesn't go up too much because of all the, the add-ons and everything we got. I definitely would prefer a cheaper figure as opposed to having all these add-ons. Now this, you have the same drawing that we saw on the back of the box and the instructions. So nice, detailed instructions of what should and shouldn't move. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. Or before we do that, let's go ahead and check out his robot mode. As you can see, vehicle mode. As you can see, it's pretty big. There's no wheels, so it doesn't roll. His turret is on a ratchet, a soft ratchet. It does go all the way around. The front can tilt up and down about that much. And you also get a little bit of wiggle in the top part of the turret itself if you wanted to have him aim up just a little bit higher. So here he is with Masterpiece Bumblebee. And you can see they scale pretty well. Tank is definitely a lot bigger than Bumblebee. But these guys were also about the same size in the G1 toy. So, but Wardog is a pretty beefy bot. So let's go ahead and put Bumblebee off to the side for now. Okay, so let's get into the transformation on this guy, on this Wardog. First thing you want to do is you want to come down to the bottom here. We're going to split apart the treads, just get them split apart enough. You can also split apart these two back panels. This panel will pull forward. Then you can get in there and just work this shield out. It does sit in there pretty good. There you go, and that just pulls out, and that's his shield with the gun attached. And you can see there is a lot of hollowness going on inside here, so it is really nice that they included the shield. That way kind of eliminates that hollowness. So to transform this guy, first thing you want to do is just continue to split everything apart. Just like so. We can come in here and disconnect the treads. They kind of lock into each other. And that'll free up his feet. Just extend them down a little bit. And you can see there's a black plastic slide. You can just reach in there, squeeze them together. There's a lot of slides and a lot of pegs on this, engineered really well. A lot more than you would see on a normal Masterpiece figure from Takara. So now we'll come down to the inside of the foot. What you can do is slide this in. It'll just act as the bottom part of the foot. Same thing on this side. Bring that around, collapse that down, and then slide that in. There you have the bottom of his feet. Next, just untab this top half right here. Untab, untab. Now the hands are just going to drop down. But what we can do is, you see there's a tab right on there on the inside of the legs. If you pull these legs out, you can rotate these down and then rotate it around once more. Close up the leg. This back panel right here will just flip down. Peg those two halves together. And then push this leg in. Same thing on this side. Just bring that down. Flip this leg around. Bring that back panel down. And then tab everything together. Slide that forward. And there you have his legs. Just collapse them up. Now on the waist, what you want to do is you're going to bring, there's this back piece right here with the little clip, and that's just going to clip right into the back of his waist right there. Make sure his crotch piece is out of the way. And once that clips into the back, that crotch piece locks everything in, and that creates his waist. So now all we have to do is go up to the top of the figure. Now that we got the legs done, first thing we're going to want to tackle is this turret. To transform that, this just slides apart. Leave them hang down for now. Then we're going to take the head, flip it around. Then there's a little peg hole and a peg. Just peg them together. Just like that. And then these pieces are also on sliders. And one thing that's really important is you want to make sure that he's standing up, because that red piece right in there will block the pieces from going into the center of his chest. So it is kind of, it's hard to do on camera. It's a lot easier to do in person. So just peg them in right there. Same thing on this side. Come around here. Slide this up and in. That pegs into the front. And then there you have that. Now we're going to rotate this piece around on the back. Bring this up and just have these pieces kind of sitting in there. Because when you bring this piece up, there's two triangle indents, and they're going to sit right on those corners. Now I kind of did this wrong on the one, and it took a little bit of the corner off, but it's not terrible. You can see where they just kind of sit in there. And then we'll lock this back panel in. I might be getting ahead of myself just a little bit. I probably should have done the arms first. Flip these around. Yeah, this panel has to be done last. I keep trying to figure out the best way to transform this Wardog, because there are a lot of panels that end up getting in the way of each other. So sometimes you try one thing and it's just not working, and then I move on to the next thing. So these want to be slid all the way out. They kind of did that already themselves. You'll see this peg is on a little slide, and they just slide back and forth. When it's in vehicle mode, they're connected. There's a little peg right there. And that's one thing you want to be very careful with. I've seen someone that this cracked on them. I don't feel like they're going to crack. I feel like they're really strong plastic. But if you bend it in a way that it's not supposed to bend, I could definitely see that cracking. So just something to be aware of. I think I transformed this figure a couple times. I like the complexity, but I don't know that I would pick it up and transform it just for fun. So what we're going to do is go ahead and lock in the sides of the chest, just like so. And same thing on this side. You spin this around until this peg can actually lock, compress. Once you can compress that, then it should line up with the side here. As you can see, there's a lot of sliding. There's a lot of sliding and locking going on. So there we have that. They're both locked in. Now that we have them locked in, we can bring up this back panel. And lock that backpack in. And now all we have to do is the arms. First thing on the arms to do is you slide these arm panels up as much as you can. Disconnect from the little peg right there. Disconnect that from the peg. Pull out the arm, and that gives you your elbow joint. So now that we have our elbow joint, we can collapse the tread onto the arm, which eliminates that gap. And then the shoulder, we're going to come up. We're going to slide this piece over, and that allows us to get access to this sliding hinge. And you're going to slide it up and then pull it out. And then once you get it pulled out so far, you have to slide this back over and then slide this up the rest of the way. And there is a peg there that it'll lock into, and you'll be able to slide it back down. There we go. Just like so. Once you get that bit slid down, you can slide the arm piece over, and that holds the shoulder in so it doesn't move back and forth. And this is all in a ball joint, but it's surprisingly, the tolerances are really nice and it's really tight, unlike Apollyon, whose arm sockets are always coming loose and always falling off. One thing I did forget to do on this, which is an easy fix, is just fold this tread back. It gives him a little bit more room on his hand and his fist. And then come back to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. Fold this panel in. You have to slide it up. Like I said, being on camera, not always the easiest thing. It doesn't give you the best leverage. What I did is I kind of pressed down on that panel while I pulled up, because that's the elbow joint right there. And collapse the tread back onto the arm. And you can see the side of his chest popped out, just because I was putting a lot of force on that. Not really the toy's fault, just kind of mine. Now all we have to do is go ahead make sure these gray pieces are slid all the way out. They kind of slide back in at times. Right on the inside of the chest there. Let's go ahead and do this other arm. And again, just going to slide that up. That way it gets out of the way. And you're able to slide it. Once you get about that far, you have to move this panel back over. And there is a red pin inside there. Right there. That black joint will slide onto. So it's just kind of hard to see because all the panels kind of get in the way on video, but once you get it in hand, it's pretty easy to see where it needs to go. It just takes a little bit of doing. And it does have a tendency to slide down on you. There we go. So once you have that done, then you have fully working shoulders. They can go up about that far. Take his head back down. They can go up about that far. They can do a full 360. And again, the tolerances are really good on this. So, but that is, there you finally have Wardog in his robot mode. Like I said, he is a really good looking Transformer in both modes. He is one of the more complicated figures to transform that you will probably ever have. I can't think of one off the top of my head that's as complicated as this, but the build quality is really nice on it, so I'm not too worried about anything breaking. I'm not too worried about anything breaking, but I probably won't be transforming this all the time just because the amount of complexity in the transformation. I think he looks awesome in robot mode, so that's probably where he will stay. To get these guns and swords on, you just put the handle in his hand, get it pushed back as far as you can, and then twist it. And the peg that's on the handle will lock into his hand when you twist it. And there you have him with his gun and his shield. And he is just fully armored up. He looks like he could take on the Decepticons by himself. A little kapow and kazowie and all that Warpath stuff. So super articulate, super nice. I wish this would collapse a little bit, and it's a little short in vehicle mode. I wish it had a way of extending maybe to about here in vehicle mode. I think they probably could have done it, but I mean, that's really the only complaint I have on this figure. As far as articulation goes, he has a little bit more than 90 degree on the elbow. Of course, the full 360. His hand does have a swivel on the legs. He has nice ratcheted legs, forward and back. He can go back about that far. He has a soft ratchet, and his leg can go out about that far. His knee is also on a softer ratchet, but everything feels really... I just can't get over the how good the tolerances are on this figure. Then his ankle, he has a lot of ankle pivot and tilt, forward and back. Depending on how far down, you can even extend this up a little bit to give him a little bit more. He's honestly a lot more stable when he's at the bottom position, but it does give you options as to how you want to pose him. So, and he also does have a waist rotation, which is he can go about halfway. So plenty of waist rotation. Just an awesome figure. Really happy with him. Like I said, if you do not like complicated transformations, this is probably not the Transformer for you. But if you're looking to add a Warpath to your Masterpiece shelf, he is excellent. His head's on a ball joint there. and a swivel, or a tilt and a swivel. You can see the face sculpt. It's a really nice face sculpt. Very Warpath-ish. And then let's go ahead and do a size comparison. Here he is next to Optimus Prime. You can see he fits in really nice with Masterpiece Optimus Prime. And here he is. There's Bumblebee to throw him back in there. And yeah, as far as deluxes go, I have, there is the RID Prime, just to give you another size comparison. All in all, awesome figure. Definitely recommend picking him up. Go ahead and click in the link in the description below at the Chosen Prime. Like I said, I know at BotCon these were selling like hotcakes, so I'm not sure how many of these he has left. But definitely go ahead and pick this guy up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.